What's up, guys? Tommy Mutchler here, your Bellingham Realtor, and today we're going to be doing a full tour of Bellingham, Washington. In this video, we're going to be exploring Bellingham, checking out some of the best neighborhoods and communities, and show you some of my favorite secret spots that you are definitely going to want to check out. And with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, so here we have a map of Bellingham, Washington. We are literally the top corner of the United States. Of course, actually Blaine is the tip top corner. Actually, Point Roberts is part of the US, but you have to drive around to actually get there. But if we were to look at Bellingham, Washington, which is right here, you're gonna see it's kind of the main hub for Wacom County as a whole, which is the outer Bellingham community. So obviously we have Canada to the north right here. So if you want to go to Vancouver, Canada, which is like the Seattle of Canada, it's right there. It's about an hour drive at most, and that includes getting across the border, which yes is open right now. So if you want to go to Canada, you definitely can do that. We also have Mount Baker here to the east, which is a great place to go skiing, snowboarding. There's lots of hikes and great camping over here. This is definitely a great place to go. It's about an hour 20-minute drive, depending on where you live in Bellingham, if you were to go to Mount Baker. Then, of course, here we have Bellingham Bay, which is connected to the Pacific Ocean. We have all the San Juan Islands over here, like Orcas Island, Lopez Island, Cypress Island. If you drive over here to Anacortes, you could take ferries to all these different islands. These are really a lot of fun. Definitely check them out. You have Lummi Island right here. It's a super cute little island. There's not a lot on it, but it's definitely a nice little day trip. You got a couple of restaurants, a couple of shops, some super cute farmer stands. Then if we zoom in right here, we have a few lakes here in Whatcom County. Right next to Bellingham, we have Lake Samish. We have Lake Padden, which is right here. We have Lake Wacom, which is a very, very large lake right here in Bellingham. We also then have the Nooksack River, which starts at Mount Baker, goes all the way down to the ocean. If you were to do the ski to sea race, they will actually canoe this whole river. There is some rafting that you can do here. So if you like rafting, you can definitely do that. It's also a really fun river to just float in the summertime. Of course, then you have some other cities nearby in Bellingham, which are great little suburbs. We have Blaine, which is right next to the border. We have Ferndale, which is a great suburb to Bellingham. It is its own city, but it's about a 10-minute drive to Bellingham. You have Linden over here, which is a really cute little farmer town. Has between, I think, 15 and 20,000 people. And then you have a few smaller towns between here and Mount Baker. So with the water to the west, you're kind of stuck. Canada, you can't go into Canada unless you're going to visit. And then if you want to go east, you can't really go further than Mount Baker. You do have to drive down to Highway 20 to go more east. Now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and zoom into Bellingham as a whole. Now, when we look at Bellingham, it has a lot to offer. There's a lot of diversity here. We do have an airport over here, kind of by Costco. We have the Columbia neighborhood and the Leonard Streets neighborhood, which are great walking communities. So if you like to walk to any bars or pubs or coffee shops or grocery stores, these two neighborhoods right here are really the most ideal for walkability. So if you like walking, if we go a little bit south, we do have the South Hill and Fairhaven neighborhood. Now, Fairhaven used to be its own city, but actually got adopted into Bellingham. Fairhaven is super cute. If you just look at some of the photos up here, it really is incredible. There's some farmers markets, great walkability too. Some really great, fantastic restaurants. You do have this pier where you can walk to a Woods coffee shop, which is super cute. I actually just took my wife on a date here recently. It looks a lot better than it does in this photo, I promise. It's a lot cuter. So Fairhaven's definitely kind of its own little animal. So if you're touring and want to check it out, I would highly recommend. I know the Black Cat restaurant, super good. Highly recommend. I've been there quite a few times. You can see on their Google reviews, they have 1,100 reviews. Highly recommend going there and checking them out. You then, of course, have some parks down here. So you got the Marina Park. It's a great park to check on the water. Of course, we were talking about that boardwalk. That's going to be right here. You can either park right here and you can walk down this boardwalk and it will take you all the way down to Boulevard Park, which has that coffee shop I talked about earlier. Super cute coffee shop. Woods is a great local brand, started here in Linden actually. And it's a beautiful coffee shop just right on the ocean right here. A great spot to go for a date or a quick walk. And you have that beautiful boardwalk that you can walk down. As for neighborhood, you have the South Hill neighborhood right here, which of course is a hill overlooking the water. A lot of them are the older classic Victorian style houses, but however, you do have the occasional new build. Now, if we were gonna go a little bit more south, we have the Edgemoor neighborhood, which is right next to Fairhaven. Again, you're super close to downtown Bellingham. This is more of a suburb neighborhood. They're beautiful older homes. They are a lot newer than a lot of the South Hill homes. A lot of these homes were built in, I would say, between the 50s and 2000s. And then, of course, we have a few parks nearby. And if you want to go down this drive, we have this road called Chuckanut. It's a beautiful drive. Highly recommend it. And if you were to go down this, you have a few like hidden little beaches. You have like Teddy Bear Cove, you have Clayton Beach. Now these are kind of hard to get to. You kind of have to know where to go, but if you can find them, they're really cool secret little spots. Of course, we have some amazing trails. So if you like hiking, we have the Oyster Dome Trailhead. This is an absolutely beautiful trail. It's really fun to do. Obviously you can see there's 1,100 photos. It is steep. There is a spot that you can go that's a little bit easier if you don't want to start at the base of the hill, but just look, you got that little lake up there. It's absolutely gorgeous. But Chuckanut Road is a great like touristy spot. Would highly recommend, especially if you're just here visiting. Just drive down this road. It's just absolutely beautiful. Would highly recommend. Of course, we have Lake Sandwich over here. Now this is a pretty private lake. There are absolutely some beautiful houses along the waterfront here. They don't come up for sale too often, but it is a great lake. That said, if you want to do some swimming, Paddon might be a better bet for you. It is a much smaller lake. There's no houses on it. There's a lot of trails that are great for walking. You can walk around this. It's under 3 miles. I think it's like 2.1 miles. Some beautiful trails. So if you like lakes, you want to go swimming, it's great for the family. It's beautiful in the summer. You can't really have any like gas-powered boats out there, so you can bring like a kayak or paddleboard. It is a beautiful lake. Would highly recommend. And of course, it has some beautiful trails that I would definitely check out. Of course, we have Lake Wacom. You would not want to walk around this. In fact, I don't know if you can even drive around it. That is a much bigger lake. You have the Sudden Valley Community, which is a private HOA. It's actually a massive HOA. It actually has a couple of restaurants in it. It's a really cool community. It is kind of far. I know it looks really close on the map, but this is about a 20-minute drive to Bellingham, so it feels kind of tucked away, kind of far away from everything. And you are at a valley, so it is going to be darker, and it is a heavily wooded area. But that said, Sudden Valley is honestly a beautiful area. I would highly recommend it if you like the woods and want to be right next to a lake. Of course, we have Geneva. It's a little bit closer to Bellingham. A lot of the houses, I was going to say, are built around the 2000s, give or take 20 or so years. A great area. You have Wacom Falls. I would really recommend going into this park. It is a super cool park. Absolutely some beautiful trails. 15,000 photos. Just look, you got this super cute bridge. There's a waterfall called Wacom Falls, so of course there's a waterfall. Great trails. I believe you can go swimming here. I've never gone swimming, but I know people that do it. It is pretty popular, so I'd recommend going during the week if possible, but it is super cool. Highly recommend it. Definitely a place you want to check out. Then we have Blodell over here, which is public lake access. Of course, if you have a regular boat, if you want to go boating, great place in the summertime. Very family friendly. Now, as we kind of head more north, again, we're kind of to the east of the Columbia neighborhood that we talked about earlier. We have Fairhaven down here, just for a reference point in case we got lost. We kind of have the Barkley Village area, which is going to be more so of your banks, some really nice high-end restaurants. There's some great restaurants here in downtown Bellingham area. But if you want a little bit more of that corporate feel, so a lot of tech jobs, we have a brand new movie theater from Regal here, some more higher-end grocery shopping. Kind of your more corporate business center is going to be the Barkley area. Of course, you have some really great neighborhoods up here that are really nicely well kept. You get the Silver Beach neighborhood. We have Squalicum High School. Bellingham has a few high schools, quite a few schools, as well as a university. You probably knew that already, but if you didn't, Bellingham does have Western Washington University, a very good school. So if you're wondering if Bellingham has that college feel vibe to it, it does a little bit, does kind of feel like a college town a little bit, but that's really such a small part of Bellingham. If we were to pull up some statistical data on Bellingham, Bellingham really only has a population of 113,000 people. Now that said, in the entire county as a whole, there's about 200,000 or so, and it can, in some areas, kind of have that college town feel to it, but for the most part, it is just a really great city. But if we go back to our fancy map, let's go ahead and take a look more at North Bellingham. Now, as we go more north here, you're going to see we have the Guide Meridian Highway. This highway goes all the way to Linden. So a lot of people from Linden will use this to commute to Bellingham, and which will, of course, eventually take you to the Canadian border. Of course, you also have border access over here in Blaine. But if we go back down to North Bellingham, we have more of your industrial corporate stores. So we have like our Bells Fair Mall. We have a Target. Target, we have Best Buy, Walmart, Costco, Fred Meyer. We have another school over here. We have Wacom Community College right here, which is a great community college. This area here is going to be most of your shopping, grocery shopping, tech shopping, a lot of restaurants, Birch Door Cafe. I highly recommend this place, by the way. If you need a good brunch spot, this place is awesome. I would highly recommend it. The food here is so good. I mean, just look at this. This is delicious. And if we're going to go a little bit more north, we have Cordata Park and the Cordata neighborhoods, a big subdivision and community over here. A lot of different houses, a lot of different communities. They're all pretty new for the most part. A lot of them are built very green. However, they are very cookie cutter. Now, that said, that for the most part is Bellingham. There's a ton of things I did not get to cover in this video, such as all the mountain biking, like in Mount Galbraith, which is right here by Lake Patten. We have a ton more beaches and parks along here. A million delicious bars, pubs, coffee shops that I couldn't possibly go over the entire list of, but they are all here. Would recommend checking them out. You can find just about anything that you want. Now, with that said, if you've been to Bellingham, what is your favorite spot? I'm genuinely curious. Obviously, Bellingham has a lot to offer, and there is still a lot to explore. So if you have a favorite place in Bellingham, like it's a restaurant, coffee shop, park, place to go, I would genuinely love to hear about it. And if you'd like to learn more about Bellingham, I would highly recommend checking out some other videos I have about Bellingham, Washington. And of course, if you're thinking about moving here and buying a house in Bellingham, reach out, give me a call, shoot me an email. I would love to talk with you. I help people move and buy houses here all the time, and I would love to help you out too. With that said, my name is Tommy Mutchler, and I will see you in the next one.